Live from WTVO 17 and your home team, Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
President Trump takes part in a one-on-one interview. He touches on topics from a second round of stimulus checks to banning the Confederate flag. That's coming up. Illinoisans will have to make an income tax change decision on November ballots. Groups for and against the measure weigh in. Shoppers throughout the U.S. are making a point to spend their money on black-owned businesses. A Rockford shop owner shares what the effort means to her. Good evening, I'm Eric Wilson. Mimi Murphy is off tonight. President Trump says he's for sending a second round of stimulus checks to Americans, but he's not sure how much those checks will be. In a one-on-one interview with our D.C. reporter Jesse Tenor, the president expands on what could be in the next COVID-19 relief bill and his stance on Confederate flags. Eyewitness News is keeping you connected to the nation's capital.
Can Americans expect more stimulus checks from you?
The answer is yes. We're working on it right now with Congress.
President Trump told me in a one-on-one interview that more direct payments are on the way, but could not say how much. House Democrats have already approved a bill with another $1,200, but the president said he wants to aim higher.
I want more than other people want to do, but it'll be significant numbers, great for the people of our country.
A priority in the next and likely final round of coronavirus relief, President Trump said is not up for negotiation, is a tax cut. The president is insisting on a payroll tax cut that would make paychecks larger, but reduce funding for government programs like Social Security and Medicare.
You would veto something if it didn't include a payroll tax cut?
If it didn't include what we think we need for the economy and for jobs, I would absolutely veto it, yes.
President Trump also told me when it comes to his stance on the Confederate flag, he relies on the First Amendment.
It's freedom of speech. You do what you do.
Even though President Trump has suggested with tweets that NASCAR made a mistake in banning the flag.
Well, I don't think they were critical. I was just talking about the fact that NASCAR chose to go a certain way, and that's going to be up to them. That is up to them. I'm very friendly with NASCAR. I know the people there. I know drivers. I know a lot of them. But I view it as freedom of speech.
And for the president, the same applies to the NFL.
Well, that's going to be up to them.
As the league considers playing the unofficial Black National Anthem before every Week 1 game.
When you say the Black National Anthem, I know we're playing the National Anthem, and I think people should stand proudly for the National Anthem.
At the White House, I'm Jesse Tenor.
We now know the name of the man killed at a Rockford housing complex. Someone shot 23-year-old Jamiros Reed early Sunday morning at the Orton Keys complex. He was pronounced dead around 1 in the morning. Reed was the third person shot at Orton Keys over the weekend. The Rockford Police Department is investigating. If you have any information, call the department or Crime Stoppers. The second man arrested in a sting operation gets the same sentence as his partner. Efren Rodriguez Diaz pleaded guilty to possession with intent to deliver in a Boone County courtroom. A judge sentenced him to 19 years in the Illinois Department of Corrections. In October 2017, a source working with the DEA arranged to buy $58,000 worth of cocaine from Rodriguez Diaz and Roy Vasquez. Last week, a judge handed down the same sentence to Vasquez. Rockford's Domestic Violence Resource Center is a few steps closer to being complete. Walls are going up in the Family Peace Center's temporary site on North Main Street downtown. Floors are getting a new look, too, as crews put carpets in. Carpenters Union members donated their time and effort to fix up the building. The Family Peace Center's opening day was supposed to be July 1st. It's now been pushed back with hopes of opening sometime in mid-July. A local COVID testing site sees a surge in visitors following the 4th of July holiday. A steady stream of cars were once again at the UIC College Health Sciences testing site this morning. Testing helps local health departments collect important data. The information can be used to improve contact tracing efforts. Anyone can be tested. You don't have to be showing symptoms. Since April, more than 12,000 people have been tested at the UIC site.
That's encouraging because I think people are thinking about, maybe if they've been exposed or maybe they've traveled in the last couple of days, or as things open up a little bit, they just want to be sure and be responsible and do the right thing.
The UIC Health Sciences campus testing site is open every day from 8 to 4. A coalition made up of 4 industry groups says they want to keep Illinois' income tax rates the same. The group asks voters to say no to the progressive income tax question in November. Right now, everyone pays an income tax rate of 4.95%. If voters approve the change, supporters say everyone making less than $250,000 a year would pay the same amount or a little less. Opponents argue the tax will lead to a mass exodus.
That assumes everybody that they want to tax is going to stay in Illinois and not go somewhere else where there is no tax or there are lower taxes. Illinois is already leading the nation in out-migration.
It's about fairness now. It is never fair that a grocery store clerk or a firefighter or a nurse or anyone that works a minimum wage job is paying as much in taxes as hedge fund billionaires and millionaires.
Progressive tax supporters add people earning $100,000 or less would see a small tax cut. Across the country, shoppers dedicate today to support black-owned businesses. The national movement is called Blackout Day. Dylan Siraki talked with one Rockford business owner who says supporting black businesses shouldn't be limited to just today.
One downtown Rockford business owner says Blackout Day is the latest way shoppers are making a conscious effort to support black businesses.
Black lives matter, black businesses matter, and we're all in this together, and that's the way that we should act about it.
Tamika Brown co-owns Infinite Soul Vibrations in downtown Rockford. Recently, she's seen a spike in customers who are specifically seeking out black businesses.
I've had several customers myself. They come in like first thing in the morning. When the store is open, they're like eager to spend money with these businesses. I'm really thankful for the support.
Blackout Day is a day where black people are encouraged to spend money at only black-owned businesses and boycott bigger retailers. It's a way to economically protest against racial injustice.
It's very relevant, and it's just good to see our community coming together, because now more than any time ever, we really need to come together.
Brown says she's experienced the trend in other places that she's worked and is excited to see it come to Rockford.
Prior to this, I used to do a lot of business in Brooklyn, New York. So that's kind of a different arena. They do this kind of thing all the time. They really believe strongly in recycling the black dollar. So I think it's awesome that it's here.
In Rockford for your home team, I'm Dylan Siraki.
The high temperatures. If you're feeling the heat when you step outside, your pet is too. Heat-related injuries are just as much of a concern for our furry friends. An area veterinarian tells Michelle Rave what to look for when your pet's getting too hot.
For many pet owners, it can be very easy to bring your pet along with you everywhere you go. But as we continue to have temps in the 90s, it's important to ensure their safety.
Auburn Animal Clinic veterinarian Dr. Patricia Holmes says it's common this time of year to see pets come in with heat stroke. It often happens after pets are locked in cars or outdoors for too long. Heat stroke can be fatal. Dr. Holmes says during the heat, owners should be careful to not overexercise their pets and be on the lookout for signs of distress.
If they are panting and looking very stressed and continuing to pant and not able to calm down, you can touch their body, touch their gums, their mouth, their tongue. If it feels drier and if it feels warm, then they're probably starting into heat stroke.
There are certain dog breeds that require extra care in the heat. Know the symptoms of overheating and be careful not to overexercise them right now. In Rockford, for your home team, I'm Michelle Rave.
The heat safety certainly doesn't stop at just pet owners. Parents also should pay attention to little ones in the extreme heat. The Winnebago County Safe Kids Coordinator says leaving kids in the car, even for a couple of minutes, can be deadly. In hot weather, the inside of a car can reach up to 125 degrees in just 10 minutes. That's with the windows cracked, too. The coordinator says the biggest mistake parents make is to think it can never happen to them.
There's different parts of the brain that are working against each other. One, you got this part of the brain that goes on autopilot the minute you leave your house. Your first thought is to get to work, and your brain kicks in knowing how to get to work. The other part is, okay, now I've got different plans, but now I got to remember them.
Hoster says one tip is to leave something else in the back seat, like a purse or wallet, to make sure you check the area when leaving the car.
Now, your first warned weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Well, welcome back. We've got a lot to discuss here throughout tonight, tomorrow, and then even through the end of the week. With the first issue, the threat for some thunderstorms. We've got a couple of stronger thunderstorms moving in across parts of south central Wisconsin, where we do have severe thunderstorm warning just to the west of Madison. That particular thunderstorm may clip far northern Greene and Rock counties, but will continue to move off to the east. But what I'm watching are the outflow boundaries from the these thunderstorms that are surging southward that'll act as little lifting mechanisms to likely get a few more additional thunderstorms to develop over the next couple of hours. And we can see some of those storms beginning to fire up over parts of Joe Davies County, Stevenson County, and even far northwest Winnebago County. We also have a couple of isolated thunderstorms just to the south here of Rochelle, now moving into northeast Lee County, and then a dissipating shower moving through southern DeKalb County. A look a little bit further off to the west, and you see some additional development moving into eastern Iowa. All of this will continue to progress eastward as we go through this evening. While the main severe threat will stay up to the north, there have been actually some reports of some wind damage up just north of us. We could get some heavy rainfall. That'll most likely be what we experience with any of these thunderstorms, but some of the stronger ones could actually have some gusty winds associated with them. And we hang on to that storm threat here as we head through about the 7, 8, 9 o'clock hour. But once we get to midnight, things will be much more quiet with just a few clouds overnight and relatively mild. It'll be a dry start to our Wednesday, but temperatures in the 70s will allow us to springboard us back into the 90s for tomorrow afternoon. The difference, however, that heat index factor. Many areas will see that number climb close to 100, if not a little bit above. And because of that, a heat advisory has been issued for Greene County, Stevenson, Joe Davies, Carroll, and Whiteside counties beginning at 11 a.m. tomorrow and lasting through 7 o'clock tomorrow evening. So let's look at that heat index factor, because we've had prolonged 90-degree days, but now we're starting to see that humidity increase. As early as 10 o'clock, that heat index already in the lower 90s, but once we hit that noon, 1, 2 o'clock hour, that's when we could see that number 98, 99, 100 degrees, and it stays high right through the afternoon and into the evening. Even at 8 o'clock tomorrow evening, the heat index close to 90 degrees still. And when you have that heat index anywhere from 90 up to 100, 105 degrees, any prolonged activity outside could lead to sunstroke, heat cramps, or heat exhaustion. So it's important to make sure you take those necessary heat safety measures tomorrow and also on Thursday. Now, one saving grace for some tomorrow could actually be the development of a few isolated thunderstorms along a lake breeze to the east of us and any outflow boundaries that are left from thunderstorms here this evening. Notice that activity, however, is a little decreased a bit further to the west and northwest. Things will start off fairly dry Thursday, but then an increase in showers and thunderstorms, and some of these actually could be on the stronger side by Thursday afternoon and Thursday evening. Our biggest threats, wind and even heavy rainfall. We do have a marginal risk for some stronger thunderstorms during the afternoon. You can see those clouds building up here for us this evening. A live look with our Mercy House SkyTrack camera now out of the Rochelle Airport. We'll hang on to that storm threat as we go through this evening. Again, mostly isolated here. 94 for tomorrow, 92 on Thursday, and then we get some relief with temperatures in the 80s by the weekend.
Now, the Napleton Sports Desk with Sports Director Scott Lever.
NBA teams started a report to the Orlando bubble today at the Disney Wide World of Sports Complex. Fred VanVleet and the Raptors are scheduled to report there on Thursday. The past couple weeks, the Raptors have been training in Fort Myers, Florida. When they get back into action, the Raptors will play one of the most challenging 8-game schedules to determine the final seedings for the playoffs. Some of their opponents will be the Lakers, Heat, Celtics, Bucks, and 76ers. VanVleet knows it'll be challenging getting up to speed right away so they can win their share of those games.
There's going to be some time that we're going to have to ease into things and find our flow. 8 games is not really a great sample size to get hot or get cold or whatever. It's going to be up and down, I'm sure. But the biggest thing is I think we just start to find our rhythm, hopefully, and get out of those 8 games unscathed. We're going to have to beat great teams no matter what the situation is. It's going to be tough for anybody, but like I said, I think I like our chances.
The Raptors' first game will be August 1st against the Lakers. The Cubs held another workout today at Wrigley Field. Chris Bryant says there's no way he'd opt out of playing this season. But he does have some serious concerns about the inefficient coronavirus testing that he's witnessed so far. Under Major League Baseball's safety plan, players were supposed to be tested every 2 days. But Bryant says he went 5 days between his first test. He says if baseball can't handle safety protocols correctly now, how can it be expected to do so when teams start playing games?
If we want it to happen, if we want it to go smoothly, because this is the easy part, really. I mean, when you get into the season and you're traveling and you're in an airplane, your hotel, you're getting room service, guys are, who knows what people are doing, especially on the other teams too. I think if we can't really nail the easy part, which is right now, and just our players, we got a big hill to climb.
That's sports. We'll be right back.
This evening could actually pose a risk for some heavy rainfall, even some gustier winds. Now temperatures tonight down in the lower 70s, 94 for tomorrow.
Thank you, Candace, and thank you for spending a little time with us. Stay safe.